Roosh, 44 goals. Ruff, 43 goals. I believe Drulia, 54. They've been on the line together for the most of the year. And really, the rest of the guys on the team, really, they had 4 guys with 20 goals or more. And those are the only guys that have been doing the scoring. And here they continue to do it. You can't, they see, Fort Wayne, no one has been able to shut them down. In the regular season, again, the playoffs, they just keep coming up every night with another effort, with another goal, and they just keep doing it.
So this time, Atlanta scores first. They get off to that better start you talked about at the top, and they are definitely concentrating.
Yes, they are, and they really want this badly. They don't want to go back home and face a game 6.
It's loose to the left of Bergeron, taken by Edgerton. This is a disciplined team. Let's not forget they've lost only 1 game in the playoffs, and that was here, a 3-1 game. Not exactly a blowout. Lambert, the shot was deflected wide. That looked like the tying goal. Out at the right point, Lusig misplayed it. Edgerton tried to get a quick break going. Now backhanded in by Campo. Behind the net, Edgerton with a check on Lusig. 1-0, Atlanta leading it on a LaRouche goal. Chin, right side to Purves. In order to get to this stage, Atlanta has lost just the 1 road game. 1-5 on the road. It's an incredible record when you think about it. Last year, Fort Wayne swept, and even swept Atlanta in the semis, so there'd be some sweet revenge here if Atlanta could end it on the road in Fort Wayne. Smith around the board. Bergeron leaves it off. Gets some help from Rochford. Now to Medill. Checked by Fletcher. Fletcher's working hard. Gretzky will just flip it down. Sidorkewicz leaves it off for Tretowitz. David Tretowitz from Liverpool, New York. Neutral zone. Now it's flipped into the Fort Wayne end. Dugout. Right side, Dupuis. 3 minutes to go in this first period with the Knights leading at 1-0. Behind the net, centering pass in the slot. There's Rochford. Lost there in the corner. Now to Fletcher. Right across. Dupuis. Oh, and a great save and then off the post. That was top corner all the way. Dupuis, the shot, tip save. Oh, Bergeron is seeing everything tonight. Dupuis in front. Third out, center point, tipped again, wide. That's Darren Smith going after it. And it's underneath the fallen Atlanta player. Darren Smith tried to jam it out, and that wasn't appreciated.
Well, a real smart play by Jeff Medill, just to fall on the puck. They were in trouble. The Knights were in trouble in their own zone. Get a whistle as quick as you can. He had the opportunity to fall on it, and he made it count. Fort Wayne's best pressure of the night, and they certainly were all over the Atlanta end, and I think it was a wise decision to freeze that puck and get a face-off.
Well, Dupuis got off a great shot. I thought Bergeron got the glove, and then it seemed like it banged off the post and then out. Dupuis had 9 goals during the regular season, 1 in the playoffs. That one would have been a big one had it gone in, but Bergeron's been very sharp tonight. If you want to know how good Bergeron is, just remember the Montreal Canadiens drafted him. They don't make too many mistakes with goalies.
No, they don't, and he had a great record. 27 wins, 11 losses, 7 overtime losses on the year, 3.07 record goals against average, so he is no slouch.
Off the draw, Richison shot, tip. There's a chance the backhander save, and perhaps off that left post as well in the Boyce shot. Boyce will get it back off the deflection. Ian Boyce trying to leave it off for MacDonald. Instead, it's Sean Rivers. Rivers will collect it. He's from Ottawa, second-year pro. This one goes all the way down ice. MacDonald will touch. He'll get the icing call, and the next faceoff will come all the way back to the other side. Jason Ruff had the assist. What a line this is. LaRouche, Ruff, and Drulia. And people were talking the other night about LaRouche. He's a free agent right now. They have an agreement with the Tampa Bay Lightning, but LaRouche was not owned by anyone. Bruce Boudreau would love to have him on his team. So would a lot of other people.
Well, I think Steve LaRouche has opened a lot of eyes with 5 goals the other night, a goal already tonight. A tremendously talented player, only 23 years old, so he's just going to have a fine future.
This one is sent in wide. LaRouche also was a Montreal Canadiens draft choice. He's been playing some in the American Hockey League. Off the boards, Edgerton clearing it out. Less than 2 minutes to play in this first period. A 1-0 Atlanta Knights lead. They're trying to wrap up this Turner Cup Championship Series in 5 games on the road in one of the toughest places in the IHL to win in. Komets had won 15 of their last 17 playoff games here until this past Thursday night in Game 4. when Atlanta won it. On the icing call, the faceoff will come all the way back to the other side. John Paris never stops working. A lot of coaches do a lot of communicating. He goes from one length of the bench to the other. There's a lot of talking out there. You'll be coaching against him, we mentioned the other night this year, in roller hockey. You saw what he did the other night. You're going to be with St. Louis. He'll be with Atlanta.
I'm a little concerned about that already. I'm going to follow him around like we did this morning in the pregame skate. He was writing some stuff on the boards. We got to go out there and get a little closer to see what he writes on the boards. But he's got some interesting superstitions. But he's a winner. He's a great motivator. The guys like playing for him, and he has done a wonderful job since he's taken over for Gene Ubriaco back in March, and he's done a wonderful job with his club.
One game, one win away from a championship. Not too many interim coaches win championships. He came in a unique situation. Gene Ubriaco was doing well, but the parent club wanted him, so Gene went up. Here's Edgerton. All the way across. Right circle, Drulia. Flipping it behind the net. Left there. And now it's Lambert. Left side for Lusick. Now to Boyce. Right side, Hurd. And this one is an offside. So far, Fort Wayne has not found the answer to stopping the number one line of Atlanta. They tried somewhat the other night by offsetting number one line versus number one line, but we didn't see that throughout the other game.
Well, usually you don't want to try to do that. You want to take your best defensive players to play against them. But it seems no matter what they're doing, they're still able to score. So a lot of times you just say, hey, forget it. I'll go head-to-head. I'll put my scores out against their scores. We'll see who wins as Kelly Hurd looks on. He would dearly love to get a goal. A guy that has not scored for the last 10 games. The last goal he scored against Peoria, it was in the first series. So he's gone a long time. It's been a long drought for him, and he certainly would like to come out of it tonight.
Some guys can help out in other ways, but players like Kelly Hurd really need to be on that score sheet. They can do other parts of the game, but if he goes 10 games without a goal, theoretically, the Komets should be hurting. Here's Chin. Less than a minute to go in this first period. Much quicker pace than the other night, but far less goals. Like 5 less goals. Here it is, and Bergeron covers it up. There were so many goals the other night in the first period, and so many penalties that it took forever for that first period to go. That's why this was so quick. No scoring and no penalties.
What's really interesting, the difference the other night, I think what Fort Wayne's defensemen, of all the games we've seen Fort Wayne play, that was the first time that I'd really seen the defensemen move up with the play. They were moving, they were getting involved. That's something that Atlanta's defensemen do very well. You always see Rivers is moving up, Dubois moves up. When you get a fourth attacker in the play, a lot more things can happen. That's something that Fort Wayne hasn't done, except for that, few minutes in the first period in Game 4.
Lambert has it blocked. The danger is if you're not used to doing that, you make that one mistake and it's a 2-on-1 the other way, and now something happening at the other end. Tsyplakov was separated from Eric Sharon. We may have penalties here. And since they blew the whistle, you would expect that. We didn't see anything dangerous happen, but enough for Rob Martell to make his first couple of calls. Oh, something really did happen behind the play because somebody got a cross-check. Looked like the first penalty was a hold and the second was a cross-check.
Well, they're coincidental minors, so we are going to see a little bit of 4-on-4 action. Oh, no, it looks like we're going to... Yes, it is. Yes, they are. Penalties behind the play, just a little pushing and shoving behind the play. There's the slash by Tsyplakov. Obviously, Sharon got him first, so they even him up, and both of them were sent to the locker rooms to cool off a little bit before the start of the next period.
The one call was cross-checking on Tsyplakov. He gets a 2-minute minor. 2 minutes the other way as well on Eric Sharon. So 4-on-4 hockey for 36 seconds here, and then we'll see some of that at the start of the second period. Lambert. Purves. Now it's Colin Chin. He is checked there by Rochford. Dubois. Dubois to the near boards. Checked hard there. Purves laying the lumber. Here's Purves. The shot on the short side knocked the water bottle a bit, but that's as close as it got to goal. McDougall, a playoff hero the last couple of years in different leagues. That should do it for this first period. The cheering you hear are from the Atlanta Knights faithful. Steve LaRouche with the only goal, and J.C. Bergeron with some magnificent first period goaltending. So far, it was worth the price for these Atlanta fans. Their team is up 1-0. Game 5 here on Prime.
Here's an exciting way to say I love you. It's the ultimate gift. I'm Dick Clark, and we all face the same problem. What do you give a loved one that's truly a lasting and special gift? Well, let me introduce you to the most unique, exceptional, and loving gift I've ever found. It's the ultimate gift certificate. Imagine giving your children, grandchildren, a relative, friend, employee, even your favorite charity, a $1 million gift certificate for pennies on the dollar. How's this possible? By purchasing a life insurance policy that guarantees payment when you pass away of the $1 million gift. This special gift is available in amounts from $50,000 to $5 million. The program was developed by Barry K. Associates and underwritten by American General Life Insurance Company of Houston, Texas, one of the highest-rated insurance companies in America. In New York, it's American General Life Insurance Company of New York and Syracuse. For more information on the Ultimate Gift Certificate, please call Barry K. Associates at 1-800-977-GIFT.
Here's the big news you've been waiting for. 2.9% factory financing on Ford Escort. That's right. For a limited time, every Escort in stock now has low 2.9 financing for up to 48 months. Act now and you'll get 2.9 financing on every new Escort in stock today. You'll even get low 2.9 financing on the new Escort Sport and get a spoiler, alloy wheels, and a stereo cassette at no extra charge. It's the best deal of the year, but this 2.9 offer ends soon. See your local Ford dealer today, where quality breeds success.
Hey kids, ever dream of playing in the big leagues? It all starts by learning the correct fundamentals, and that's what you'll do at the White Sox Training Centers, the official youth baseball camps of your Chicago White Sox. The Sports Authority is presenting over 100 Sox training centers this summer for boys and girls serious about their game. Call 708-PLAY-BALL for the camp nearest you. Pick up a special registration exclusively at the Sports Authority and receive a free gift certificate when you enroll.
Welcome back, everyone. We are in between periods 1 and 2. Game 5 of the Turner Cup Finals. It is a 1-0 lead for the Atlanta Knights. I'm John Paul Della Camera. We're happy to have with us the commissioner of the International Hockey League, Tom Berry, alongside us. And Tom, you've got to be pretty pleased with the way the playoffs have been going so far. Great attendance, all these cities, and it's been a great year in the 49th year of the league.
It certainly has. It's been outstanding. I think it's been one of those best years that we've ever had. The attendance is up to 3.5 million this year, and the number of teams coming in next year is certainly something to be proud of. But the way the players have played this year have really been making it exciting for the fans, and they, in turn, have responded by coming out to see the game. So everything looks very well.
Commissioner, I can remember $200,000 franchise fees. Now it's $6 million. The owners have to like that. They're making money. Some guys have only had a franchise for 1 year, and they've seen it grow.
That's right. Some who've seen it grow without even dropping the puck yet. So it's been a real rise to the top, if you will, in what's happened in the hockey world with the International Hockey League over the last few years, and it's a pleasure to be a part of that.
4 new teams for next year. And the thing that a lot of people are wondering about is the invasion into some NHL markets, in specific Chicago and Detroit.
Well, the governor saw fit that the markets in those cities represent lots of millions and millions of people, and about 15 million people altogether. So there should be room in those cities for our brand of hockey. It's different. It's at an affordable price, and we feel that those places in Detroit and Chicago particularly have high prices and sell out their buildings. So this will give people a chance to get acclimated to the game of hockey and then move up to be season ticket buyers for the Hawks or the Wings. So it should be a very positive influence in the long run.
Commissioner, we saw something this week in the paper in USA Today about a possible restructuring of the International Hockey League office. Where does that stand right now?
Well, the governors will be having their meeting in mid-June, and at that time we're going to probably be changing the physical lineup, if you will, of the current structure. We have just 4 people average over the past 5 years that have created all of this activity, and I expect that we're going to be seeing a substantial increase in the number of people that will be involved in the marketing and licensing, etc., that we've got to start on, and trying to continue to expand the league and do those things that are important to the economic lifeblood of the league. So I think we'll see some more people involved and a substantial increase in effort, and everything that will make the league be a bigger and stronger league perhaps than what it has gotten to in this point in time.
Well, I congratulate you for your efforts, and thanks for joining us tonight. In between periods, Commissioner Tom Berry of the International Hockey League. This is Game 5 of the Turner Cup Finals here on Prime. It's a 1-0 lead for Atlanta after 1.
you expect it in a sports car, you get it in a lawn tractor. A Snapper lawn tractor. Power! Snapper offers state-of-the-art engines all the way up to 18 horsepower. Handling, shift through the gears or fly through demanding maneuvers with hydrostatic drive. Styling. This is one tractor you could buy just on its looks. Power, handling, styling. A Snapper tractor is like a sports car for your lawn.
Come to medieval times for gallantry and games, bravery and battle. Have a feast that lasts for hours and thrills that will last forever. Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament, the show that's become a legend.
Call 708-843-3900.
Win a minivan sponsored by Schaumburg Chrysler Plymouth Mazda. Call for details.
They're sizzling.
Bravo is celebrating 100 years of Broadway with our show-stopping Broadway on Bravo sweepstakes. We're giving away 2 of the hottest tickets on Broadway. Front row at the Who's Tommy, along with airfare, transportation, and deluxe accommodations in New York City. Plus an original Tommy Wizard pinball machine. Just fill out a postcard and mail it to Broadway on Bravo sweepstakes. P.O. Box 1468, New York, New York, 10116. Entries must be postmarked by June 30th. It's the best of Broadway, only on Bravo.
Here at Telecable, we're not magicians. Oh, with Videoplex, it may seem like magic that we expand your viewing options to the max. And it may seem like magic because we expand your viewing options by offering your choice of shows, each at the same time on multiple channels like comedy on HBO, action on HBO 2, drama on Showtime, suspense on Showtime 2, chills and thrills on Cinemax, and romance on Cinemax 2. But what's really amazing is that it's just pennies a day. Come to think of it, that is magic. Videoplex from Telecable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Game 5 of the Turner Cup Finals. Along with Bernie Federico, I'm John Paul Della Camera. The Atlanta Knights are leading 1-0 over the Fort Wayne Komets. It's time to look at first period stats. They may be a little bit misleading. Fort Wayne actually outshoots Atlanta this period.
For the first time in this series, they've actually outshot them in the period, in one period this year at least, 13-10. Face-offs, real even. And again, penalties that happen right at the end. No power plays yet, which has been what a change from game 4, so it's been really actually a real even game so far.
And the only scoring was by the dreaded player, number 10, dreaded if you're a Komets fan, LaRouche, but there was some great passing on that number 1 line. They're playing like a number 1 line, and they're in sync. They have been the entire playoffs.
Yes, they have, JP. They played so well. They're a great line. They're a great combination. They're very dynamic. They've been doing it all year, and they continue to do it in the playoffs.
And the thing that makes the line so good, not only are they strong offensively, but they work very hard defensively to help out their offense. They have the only goal of the game thus far. Atlanta leads 1-0 after 20 minutes.
A lot of MCI customers confess they didn't get the savings they hoped for.
We tried MCI on that friends and family thing. I was very disappointed in the plan.
I mean, if you want to give us savings, give us savings. Just give it to us.
Introducing AT&T True USA Savings. If you spend $25 a month, you'll get 20% off your AT&T long-distance calls. 20% off. Guaranteed. And the fact is, 2 out of 3 friends and family users on basic or prime time will save more on True USA Savings.
I thought we were going to save a lot of money, and we didn't.
The truth is, the average friends and family basic customer's discount is only 6%.
I'm going to switch back to AT&T.
Call us at 1-800-PICK-ATT. The call's free. Switching is free. And you get 20% off every call you make in the USA. Anytime, anywhere, to anyone you call.
Bye, MCI.
Call us at 1-800-PICK-ATT.
The real you coming through your true voice.
You're in a nightmare filled with monsters that bite, that crawl, that kill. Welcome to Predators of the Wild, an intense journey through a real-life chamber of horrors from Time Life Video. Face creatures so fearsome only the brave dare get close enough to film them. Seem so close, they will make your skin crawl. Call this toll-free number now and begin your journey to the shadow world with Giant Tarantula, yours for just $9.99. Confront a spider that measures a foot across and has venom so powerful it dissolves its victims from the inside out. Other videos take you deeper into the shadow world.
Get Giant Tarantula for just $9.99. Keep only the tapes you want. There's never a commitment to buy. So call now and stare into the eyes of a monster.
To order Predators, call 1-800-557-8800. That's 1-800-557-8800. Or send $9.99 plus $3.43 shipping and handling to Predators, Department 1, Richmond, Virginia, 23280.
Fly Delta Airlines, the official airline of Walt Disney World, for a dream golf vacation for two at Disney World. Watch Man vs. Mouse tonight on the Sports Channel Report for your chance to win.
Welcome back, everyone, to Prime's continued coverage of the Turner Cup Finals. Along with Bernie Federko, I'm John Paul Della Camera. Atlanta leads 1-0, and we'll take you to our highlights and show you how they started.
Well, Atlanta did start with a beautiful goal there, as we see Steve LaRouche, the hero of the last game of Game 4, tuck one in behind on a beautiful pass by Jason Ruff. But this line has been unstoppable, but Fort Wayne, on the other hand, has had some pressure on. J.C. Bergeron has come up very large. They've had more pressure in this game, really, than they have in the last 4 games, so they are playing a lot better. You're going to see a lot of pushing and shoving. The guys are real hungry for this game. Both teams want to win. But J.C. Bergeron has had to come up with a number of saves tonight. Going to see another one here right off a face-off. There's going to be a shot from the point by Richison. And Ian Boyce going for the rebound, gets a backhander on, and J.C. Bergeron has to kick out his left pad to make the save. So there's been a lot more pressure. There's been a lot more pressure on Fort Wayne than they've had over the course of any one period so far this year, except for maybe the first period in Game 4, but they played very well.
It's been a good first period for Atlanta. They lead it 1-0.
Sherwin-Williams. Looking for great prices on paint, wallpaper, and more? Come to Sherwin-Williams Parade of Savings. Right now, Classic 99 Interior Flat is on sale, just $12.99 a gallon. And A100 Exterior Flat is only $13.99 a gallon. We have thousands of new wallpaper patterns on sale, too. It's all here, plus friendly advice at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. America's place for paint. Come in for a real parade of savings. Sherwin-Williams.
Get caught up on all the day's sporting events with New Sport Tonight. A complete half hour of sports news and information with scores and highlights of the day's action and a preview of the evening's big event. New Sport Tonight delivers expert analysis on the topics you want to know about. And New Sport Tonight gives you nightly TV listings of where to find your favorite teams. Scores, highlights, previews, analysis, and listings. New Sport Tonight sets the stage for the day in sports.
Welcome back, everyone, to Prime's continued coverage of the 1994 Turner Cup Finals, Game 5. Atlanta leading it 3-1. And remember, when we start this period, it's 4 skaters aside. And remember that dreaded second period for the Komets. They can't afford, in front of Peter Sidorkewicz, to have another bad second period.
No, their second period all year has been real bad, and especially in the playoffs. They've been outscored 18-11 in the second period. On the other hand, it's been Atlanta's best period. They've outscored the other teams 22-4. So this really could be the period of the series and maybe of the entire year for both teams.
The season could end tonight, and this the IHL's 49th, and that's only if the Knights win. If not, Game 6 Wednesday in Atlanta, Game 7 if necessary on Saturday. Richison takes it, 4 skaters aside for another 113. Right side circle, here's a wrist shot wide of Bergeron. To the near side, Boyce. Check to the boards. Centering pass out at the right point. MacDonald fakes the shot, then lost it. Pump check away. Drulia could have a break. Drulia coming in. The shot and a score. Stan Drulia with a spectacular goal. I know it's another network, but that might be the play of the day.
That is absolutely unbelievable. What a play by Stan Drulia. We said it in the Keys. We said it at the beginning of the game. This guy comes to play every night. He's the inspiration for this whole Atlanta team. A bad play at the own blue line, but Drulia, he gets tripped by Richison as he's going by. but he's still able to get it up over top of Sidorkewicz into the net as he crashes in. What a beautiful goal here. He's already sliding out. He's cutting in off his backhand. There he gets tripped, but he's still able to knock it over the right shoulder of Peter Sidorkewicz. Unbelievable goal and a 2-0 lead. Look at this here. Richison with a dive, knocks him down, but he's got enough presence to still flick it and get it up before he slides and crashes into the end boards.
Friends, that's as good as it gets. Sidorkewicz got a piece of it, but not enough. The puck was stolen. That should definitely be an unassisted goal off MacDonald. Kevin MacDonald had it on that side, and if you got it at the right point, he could have teed it up, but instead his pocket was picked by Drulia. I wonder what took Stan so long, though. It took 31 seconds. It only took him 17 the other night.
Isn't that that's been the letdown? That's been the whole problem for Fort Wayne this whole series.
Kelly Hurd, right side circle, Lucic, gloved and then lost by Bergeron. A quick glove hand. The other night, Drulia got a goal 17 seconds into the start of the third period, which was the goal that brought them back to within one. And then LaRouche did the rest. Here's Rochford. You and I were talking before about the big motivational speech. You're in the locker room. You can't afford to give up a goal at the start, and bang, it happens again to Fort Wayne.
Well, every coach will tell you the same thing, JP, is that you can't get scored in the first minute or the last minute of any period, and they've been really guilty of that every time.
Chin to the right side to Purves. And an offside. With 18-16 left in the second period. A deflating goal for one side, an inflating goal if you're on this team, the Atlanta Knights. Stan Drulia, great season. He has done it all for this team. He and LaRouche were tied for the league lead in terms of shots taken, but the number of goals that he scored is only telling you part of the story in this playoff. 11 coming in. Now he's got 12. He also has 11 assists. 3 of the goals, power plays, 3 shorthanded, a couple of game winners. That was when it was 4-on-4. And he's such a great checker. We talked before about his defense. That's why he scored the goal.
Well, that's exactly it. No one works harder. In the first goal, he fought 2 guys off down the boards before he gave it to Rupp, before Rupp gave it to LaRouche to score the goal. This one, he goes coast to coast himself. The guy's a player. That's why he's a captain. He's the leader on this club, and he's proven it every night, and he certainly has proven it tonight again.
Brent Gretzky for the draw with Middendorf. You don't want to exaggerate, but no question the next goal of this game is going to be an important one. The Komets need to get it. They don't want to go down 3-0 here at home because Atlanta will be smelling it. Gretzky's pass picked off. Sidorkewicz taken away. Could be a 2-on-1. Medill gets free. The pass was blocked. He almost got a shot. Tries to stuff it short side. Great work by Medill. He's still working, and finally it's tied up by Sidorkewicz. Jeff Medill's had no luck tonight, but if there's a reward for hard work, he's going to get it.
Well, the guys have really worked hard. Jeff Medill, again, with a great chance here. Most people in this building, including myself, expected him to shoot here, but what he does, he tries to pass here over to Gretzky, and it's just a great play there. I don't know if it was Davidson who was coming back on the play, was able to, I guess it would have been Tsyplakov or I guess what that would Dupuis came back and got his stick on it. Otherwise, it would have been in the net. But here's Sidorkewicz as the pass goes across, and Gretzky was wide open. Medill takes a backhand shot after he missed the pass, tries to stuff it, but Sidorkewicz keeps his pad spread and is able to continue and then cover up.
Jeff Medill. Numbers are lower during the playoffs, but you know what? His 4 goals have all come on the power play. Off the draw. Picked up by MacDonald. Richison. It's a 2-0 Atlanta lead. 17:43 remaining. Period number 2. Atlanta trying to win the Turner Cup on the road. And this is only their 2nd year. Here's Colin Chin. Now to Purves. Purves, right circle shot deflected. It's loose in the slot. Swept away. We've got a penalty coming up. Nice clear by Sharon. But there's an interference penalty. And it is on the Atlanta Knights. Corey Cross. When we come back, an important power play up next for the Fort Wayne Komets. They're down 2-0 at home.
Dramatic changes in life insurance have created opportunities for you to preserve great wealth. Borrow $5 million for $50,000 a year. Increase investment yields up to 20%. Turn $250,000 into $10 million. Increase your gifts to charity at no cost to you. You can die rich and tax-free, or you can allow estate taxation to cut your estate in half. The choice is up to you.
Malcolm S. Forbes Jr. says of Barry Kay's new book, Die Rich and Tax-Free.
Mr. Kay's concepts show the tremendous power of utilizing insurance in ways never expressed before.
To learn how you can discount your estate tax costs up to 90% and how these remarkable concepts can benefit you and your family, call 800-DIE-RICH today. We'll send you a free copy of my special report, 12 Wealth Preservation Strategies, and a personal proposal. That's 800-DIE-RICH.
2-0 Atlanta leading, but now they're shorthanded. Off the draw, Lambert. Purves takes it in deep. Man advantage for the Komets. There's the shot to score! Fort Wayne's back on the power play.
Well, a power play that has struggled so much for so long. 3 goals the other night. They made no mistake on the first one, and what you do when you need the power play goal, get it back to the point, get some traffic in front, and that's how you're going to score. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of traffic in front, Chin in front, and Lambert just blasted. He's going to get the point. Puck back from Purves on the point. Look at all the traffic in front. Slap shot, and it's going to go through everybody. Bergeron doesn't even see it, and it's into the back of the net before they can even see it. But there's the traffic. You can see from that angle it hit. I believe that's going to hit Buchanan's stick from that angle, or skate, I should say, from that angle and go to the far side of J.C. Bergeron.
Well, if it did, it will be the second goal of this series for Lambert, and the second one that went off Buchanan.
That's exactly it. That's the tying goal the other night. The 6th goal went down off Buchanan's stick. I believe that hit his skate and went to the left and into the net.
I had thought it was deflected initially, so I wasn't sure who got it. It happened very quickly, but for sure Bergeron was screened. Oh, they're giving it to Chin. I wonder if that'll change. They gave it to Chin, and Lambert will get the assist. And Purves, time of the goal, 2:46. But a big goal for Fort Wayne. Power play deserted them. They were 0 for 44 until scoring the other night. Atlanta will dig it out with Drulia. To Rupp. LaRouche got behind Dupuis, 2-on-1. LaRouche right back. A hard pass intended for Rivers. Too hard, as it turns out at the left point. Rivers fires it wide, and Sidorkewicz never saw that. LaRouche had him screened. LaRouche tried to center it. It's blocked. LaRouche still battling. Dupuis upends him. That's going to cost him. 2-minute penalty. We'll see the Knights' power play, something the Komets didn't want to see since it went 4 for 5 in Game 4.
Well, we look at Collegian, who's brought them back to 2-1, but unfortunately Dupuis is going to go in for hooking and upending Steve LaRouche. But again, some more pressure. A lucky bounce for Atlanta. They end up with a 2-on-1. LaRouche maybe should have shot it, but they end up getting the puck back after the turnover. LaRouche is upended, and Dupuis is going to go to the box 2 minutes for tripping. But again, Atlanta 4 for 5, as you said, in Game 4, and a very dangerous power play. Here's, you're going to see the play. LaRouche tries to make the pass to Jason Rupp in front of the net here. The puck is not going to end up getting through. You're going to see it goes to the corner here, and Dupuis and LaRouche are going to fight for it, and Dupuis is going to see up and underneath the skates and upends him, and he's going to sit in the box for the next 2 minutes because of it.
A guy that's not had much ice time tonight, but who had a lot the other night, Jim Cummins, is out here for the power play.
He did his job very well, too, the other night. And his job is to stand in front of them in the power play, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Peter Sidorkewicz will keep an eye on him, for sure. Coming back the other way. Here's McDougall. Try to flip it. It's broken up, and it comes back. All the way back the other side in the Atlanta end. Picked up now by Edgerton. Nice check from Colin Chin on Dupuis. Cummins right now is actually in an offside position as he comes back. He's been doing that. I want to ask you about that. Is he trying to distract Sidorkewicz? Obviously, he's got to come out to get the pass, but why is he that deep?
Well, he's trying to keep the defense, the Fort Wayne defense, from going up to center ice. They're trying to trap one defenseman to make sure that they that, you know, he's distracting them so they don't pull up too far.
Back the other way, Dupuis firing it around the boards. Medill chasing it down. LaRouche. Cummins was replaced, by the way, by Medill. Here's Edgerton. LaRouche didn't know that one was coming. 53 seconds left in the power play. Komets trying to kill this one off. They don't want to give one up right now after they've just scored to make a game out of it again. They're down 2-1. Ruff holding it on his forehand at the circle. Right back to LaRouche. Opposite wing, here's Drulia. 33 left in the power play as Drulia brings it out of the circle. In tight, LaRouche. Drulia snaps it wide. Buchanan deep in the right circle. Now to Ruff. Jason Ruff comes right back out with it to LaRouche. A lot of motion on this power play with this big line. Here's Ruff trying to get in deep. Jason Ruff behind the net. Now tries to come out of the forehand. He was stopped. LaRouche tied up by Lee Davidson. Drulia came out. Tried to center it. Kept it at the right point by Rivers. Nice deke. Sean Rivers. Check from behind and then pushed it to the boards by Boyce. Cleared out. Darren Smith chases it. The power play had ended. Bergeron clears it around and some good penalty killing. And a good hit there, too, by Darren Smith. Credit the Komets. They've got the crowd back in. Here's a shot saved by Bergeron off Dave Smith. You're feeling, at least in the crowd, a momentum surge. It's 2-1 Atlanta, but the Komets are very much alive in Fort Wayne.
The streets and spend some time on the road. I need a truck that'll take me where I wanna go. I need a Dodge, Dodge. Big Magnum engines, don't take them for granted. Overall, the most powerful line of trucks on the planet, that's Dodge. From America's truck stop, Dodge.
From 4x4s to club cabs, from Magnum V8s to the mighty Cummins Turbo Diesel, they're all at America's Truck Stop, your Dodge dealer.
Get caught up on all the day's sporting events with New Sport Tonight. A complete half hour of sports news and information with scores and highlights of the day's action and a preview of the evening's big event. New Sport Tonight delivers expert analysis on the topics you want to know about. And New Sport Tonight gives you nightly TV listings of where to find your favorite teams. Scores, highlights, previews, analysis, and listings. New Sport Tonight sets the stage for the day in sports.
Welcome back, everyone, as we continue with our IHL coverage here on Prime. Game 5 of the best-of-7 Turner Cup Finals. Atlanta leads in the series 3-1, and they lead in this game tonight in the second period, 2-1 with 13:57 left. You're looking at a sold-out Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne. Off the draw, dug out and centered by Dubois. Now to the right side, Campo brings it across, fires it in wide of Sidorkewicz. Picked up on the right side by Dupuis. Nice check there on the right side by Rochefort. Norman Rochefort giving it up now to Dubois. Back to Rochefort. Some youth and experience at that back line there for Atlanta, at least on this shift. Sent in now by Purves. Campo clears for Gretzky. Too soft on that pass. He had an open player. That was Medill. Now Gretzky comes back with it. Lost it. Here's a break. A backhander. Score! Fort Wayne! Tsyplakov inside.
Well, a huge mistake here by Gretzky as he's ragging in his own zone. Tsyplakov steals the puck, comes in, and he's going to go to his left, and then on deep, Bergeron and slide it into the empty net. But a huge, huge mistake by Brent Gretzky. You don't carry the puck in your own zone like that when you got no defenseman behind you. Puck is stolen. Tsyplakov in, makes no mistake to his backhand, and we have a tie game here. A really, really bad mistake.
Gretzky came back after the first error when he made that soft pass across. Instead of Atlanta breaking out, they're defending, and then he ragged it back and then lost it. Here's Cummins. Can't clear it out. Richison centers it wide of Bergeron, and it came out in front. Here come the Knights down the left side. Trying to get around his man is Edgerton. Sidorkewicz doesn't get enough on that. 3 players over on the far side, dug out by the Komets. Well, you got to credit the penalty killers. Otherwise, it could have been a 3-1 deficit at that point, but they did a good job. Crowd's back into it, and then they score.
The crowd is really back into it, but again, you can't make mistakes like that in a tight hockey game. And what's interesting is that they matched lines there. John Paris had the one line come off, and he went Gretzky's. He wanted Gretzky's line to play against Chin's line, and bingo, it's in the net.
Someone has thrown a beach ball on the ice. I know it's about 80 degrees during the day in Fort Wayne, but no one's thinking about the beach today. Story in the newspaper said that unless the Komets win tonight, obviously, they'll be thinking about tea times, and they're talking about golf, not the beach. Well, maybe you're a golfer. I'd rather go to the beach.
Certainly not around here, the beaches.
A 2-2 tie here with 12:08 remaining in the second period of play. Some of the sold-out crowd you're watching, why not have a little fun with a beach ball, but keep it in the stands. Players don't want to see that. LaRouche ready for the face-off with Lee Davidson. Davidson, 25-year-old from Winnipeg, against LaRouche, who is from Rouen, Quebec, 22. And based on what I've seen this year, he should have a future. Rivers. Buchanan. Now off Julia's stick. That one may get out. And it does. It just skimmed over the glass to stop play with 11:55 to go. And those second period Blues so far look like they were going to bother the Komets, but now they've scored the last 2, and Bruce Boudreau has got to be happy about that. He knows they've got to play better hockey for 3 periods to win in this building. The other night, they did play 3 good periods, but we played 6 periods the other night, so that wasn't enough.
They played the strong last 3 periods. Wasn't quite enough, though. But again, Bruce Boudreau said they got to keep him under 3 goals. 3 goals or less, he's got a chance to win. So we're at 2. If they can shut down Atlanta's offense, they got a great chance of winning the game.
No fault of Bergeron, certainly, but he's already given up 2. He gave up 2 the other night in 94 minutes. But again, can't blame the goaltender. In the corner for Boyce. In his own zone. Checked away. LaRouche. Still working hard to Drulia. Stan Drulia being tied up by Boyce. Drulia small but strong. Ruff centers it off a deflection. Sidorkewicz may have gotten a piece at the far side. Stan Drulia still battling with Boyce. LaRouche centers it. To whom? It's all the way down ice. Stan Drulia is listed at 5'10", which is small in height, but at 180, that's pretty solid for that height. And he uses his weight pretty well. Here's Tsyplakov. He's got some good moves. Sharon stays with him. And then the check in the corner from Purves. Fort Wayne has picked it up. Purves. Poke checked away. Big play by Sean Rivers. And here's Medill. Jeff Medill tried to one-hand it in front, and Sidorkewicz covers it up. But this is a revitalized Fort Wayne Komets Hockey Club.
It's amazing what a couple of goals will do for the home crowd, and they certainly are backing the players right now. Fort Wayne is working very hard. They're kind of working the way they did the first 10 minutes in Game 4. They're all over the Atlanta zone, and they're out muscling the puck. They want it more than Atlanta does right now. That's why they're winning all the battles to the loose pucks. So certainly something that obviously they feel that the pressure's on them. They got to win every last game, every last shift, and that's certainly something that they're going to have to do, continue to do if they're going to win this game.
He made a great play, Sean Rivers, down the other end, or else Purves has a chance to get the go-ahead goal. One of the unsung heroes, I think, on that Atlanta blue line.
He's played very well. He's been rushing the puck, and he's been a very, very solid part of their defense.
Second leading scorer among blue liners for this team during the regular season. Dubois led them. Here's Dave Smith. Now to Middendorf. Middendorf with a flip. Medill. Neutral ice. This one still rising, and it goes out of play. Sharon watched as that one sailed over the glass. 10:25 left now in the second period. It's a game of momentum. John Paris knows that as well as anybody else. Came came down originally to coach the Atlanta Fire Ants in Roller Hockey International, and then he was going to coach from what we were told in the East Coast Hockey League, but when Gino Briaco left, he comes in as an interim coach, and what a job he has done. This team never missed a beat. If anything, they got stronger.
And the question is, will he be an interim coach, or will he be the head coach? I guess they'll have to make that decision at the end of the year.
Or at the end of the game.
Yes, that may be the end of the year.
If he's hoisting a trophy, you tell him he's not coaching. Here's a chance the other way. Tanguay stopped by Sidorkewicz. Tanguay is probably the fastest skater on the ice for either side, based on what I've seen in the last couple of games. And he was flying. I think that's his first shift as well. There's no stopping this guy. He can motor.
And he hits everything in sight, too.
Right back it comes into the Atlanta Knights zone. 9:50 to go in the second period of a 2-2 game. Jason Bergeron leaves it off for Corey Cross. High off the glass it goes. McDougall bringing it in with Cummins. Fires it high and wide of Peter Sidorkewicz. Medill fires it, almost hit his own teammate. Out of the right circle for Purves. Enters the game. Purves to the 22 points. Third among all-time leading goal scorers in a playoff series for the Komets. A wrist shot going wide from Tsyplakov. Purves. We talked about the Drulia, LaRouche, and Ruff line. This is the #1 Comet line with Chin, Purves, and Tsyplakov. And Tsyplakov is the more underrated one of that trio. He's seen him make some nice moves in the last couple of games. Here's Cummins. Over the line, dropping it off. Edgerton, flip pass in front. Sidorkewicz was there, and down goes Dubois, rushing from his defensive position. Right back, just too far for the very lanky John Purves. He couldn't get to that. Probably no one else could have except for a Middendorf. Purves with strength. Boyce in the slot. Now he's out of it. Towards the circle. Edgerton draws a hook from Boyce as the puck comes back into the neutral zone. Knights get it. Dubois to Drulia. Nice tuck pass. Well done to McDougall. McDougall fires it wide. Back into the neutral zone, and a whistle as McDougall was in the face of Danny Lambert. You know, for a goal scorer like McDougall, as he has been throughout minor league hockey, he's got a lot of penalty minutes. There's Tanguay, the guy we were talking about. You've got to be impressed with his speed, especially how he can turn it off and on. He gets very few shifts.
Well, he gets a great pass from Corey Cross as he splits the defense, and he makes a good move, but he needs to get the puck up. Once you get a goalie down like that, you got to get it up underneath the roof. Here's a good pass, and he's streaking through the middle. He goes to his backhand, but he's got to get this up high, and it kind of slides off the end of his stick, actually the heel of his stick, and he doesn't get it up. Otherwise, he gets it up. All he do is get it up a foot, and it's in the net, and Atlanta's got a 3-2 lead. But the kid's a young kid. He's got a strong, strong future ahead of him. He's only 21 years old, so we're going to play 4-on-4 for the next couple of minutes, too, as both Lambert and McDougall go up for roughing.
Remember, the last time it was a 4-on-4, Drulia had scored that goal to start the second period. And then the next two goals were scored by Fort Wayne. Don't count the Komets out. They've got a lot of character. Granted, they did blow the lead the other night when it was 5-0, but also they could have really hung their heads down when it was 6-5. Instead, they played solid hockey for 3 overtimes. They ended up getting the tying goal first and then the 3 overtimes before losing. Here's Drulia. Right back the other way. Check to the boards. Plastered might have been a better word as Tredowitz took him down. But Drulia bounces back up as the Komets take it up ice. 1:20 left on those penalties. Kelly Hurd centers it off a tip in front. Bergeron knocks it behind the net to Buchanan. Drulia will get it. He's on with LaRouche. 2 of their successful trio. Ruff sitting, and now he's going to come on in a change. Ruff is on. Drulia goes off. Far side boards, Dave Smith. LaRouche getting it back. 54 seconds left on those coincidental minor penalties. Back the other way, Richison. With a flip that's deflected. Bergeron's got it. Lambert sitting out a couple of minutes, so is McDougall. Nice hit. Darren Smith crosses in there. Darren Smith has had 2 or 3 solid hits tonight, playing the body, as are his teammates. It's a 2-2 tie here in Fort Wayne. Come back with us.
Roberto Clemente was one of baseball.
Performance. Every element on the track is matched by one off the track. Off the track and into the high-performance air conditioning systems of Luxair. Speed is matched by high efficiency, protection by strong warranty, handling by quiet operation, and power by cool Luxair comfort. Winners in performance, #1 in comfort, Luxair. A reason for loving every season.
The staff at Telecable Targeting talks about television advertising.
With my job at Telecable Targeting, I like best being able to meet new people every day, going out into the community and feeling like I am being of help to others, being able to put together packaging that will be effective and will create new business for my client.
Get the power of television advertising at the cost of radio. Call Telecable Targeting today.
They're going to be doing a lot more chances. They keep doing all the pressure as Bergeron's going to have to make a couple of saves as the puck ends up almost going in the net after it went over the top of his head, but he knocked it to the back of the net.
J.C. Bergeron in goal. They're just tuning in for the Atlanta Knights. Peter Sidorkewicz for the Fort Wayne Komets. Coming right back in a 2-2 tie. Dubois leaves it. Edgered in a big blast, and it was sticked up into the crowd. Looked like it went off the stick or skate of Richison. And my guess is now skate because he's shaking it off on the right foot. There's Eric Dubois, who led this team in scoring among defensemen with 39 points. He also had 174 penalty minutes during the season. Atlanta 2, Fort Wayne 2. Atlanta scored the game's first 2 goals. Fort Wayne on the comeback trail. There's Sidorkewicz's point of view from this face-off to his right. Middendorf is in to take it. Won by Tanguay. The shot sticked away by Sidorkewicz off the Dubois shot. He can fire from the point. Knights try to get it. Still 4-on-4 for 8 seconds. And then the 2 players will come out. Swept away from the slot by Tredowitz. Now Tanguay sends it back in. Tanguay must like that with open ice and 4-on-4. That's it for those penalties. Full and equal strength now. 5 skaters aside as it comes back to Bergeron's end. Rochefort lost the puck, fell down, and got right back up. Took a hit from Colin Chin. Flipped up the boards and then out towards McDougall. Lambert lost it. Here's McDougall being tied up by Lambert. Play continues and Chin will take it out. Now it's Tsyplakov with Chin and Purves. Tsyplakov, nice moves. Look at those breaks. Good pass for Lambert. He scores! Lambert!
Talk about Tsyplakov. He's got more moves as he's so shifty here. He turns these guys inside out, then dishes off to Lambert, who takes a step to the left and roofs it right underneath the crossbar over the shoulder of Bergeron. But beautiful movement by Tsyplakov as he fakes everybody out. Twice he beats Rivers, I should say, comes back to his left, feeds it to Lambert, and right over top of the shoulder of J.C. Bergeron. And this Fort Wayne crowd is going wild as Danny Lambert, who has a lot of reason to celebrate.
I think Tsyplakov has brake pads in those skates because at the rate of speed he was going to stop, start again, stop again. We told you before the moves he has, and obviously we haven't seen them all. That was a new one. Right back the other way. It's Lambert's 3rd goal of the year, of the playoffs, I should say. I thought it was only his 2nd, but that is number 3. Right side, Gretzky, passing it out in front. Fletcher moving it out into the neutral zone with 5:22 left. Who said the second period is bad for the Komets? I think that was me. But that's what the statistics show. It's coming back to Sidorkewicz. And actually, it was a bad start to that second period, but then the next 3 goals were scored by the Komets. Now it's the Knights that need to come back. Smith backhands it into the Atlanta Knights zone. Less than 5 minutes remaining in period number 2. Atlanta had a 2-0 lead. They're down 3-2 now to Fort Wayne as Komets takes it. Jim Komets from Michigan State University sends it in behind Sidorkewicz. Fired around the far wing boards. Hurd gives it up. Lee Davidson just wristing it into the zone. Drulia off the boards, taken out. Shot taken by Hurd, stopped on the short side by J.C. Bergeron. He holds on, and that's what the Knights appear to be doing right now because Fort Wayne's coming on strong. They lead it 3-2 in the second.
Imagine playing the guitar the very first day you touch the strings. Now you can, whether you like country or rock, with the revolutionary Play the Guitar Overnight by Steve Ross, the amazing home video course that guarantees you'll play the guitar the very first day. The secret shortcut method makes playing the guitar as simple as watching TV.
I just say get it. Trust me, it's going to work.
Hey, dude, this is what you want to get. Thousands of satisfied people have purchased the Play the Guitar Overnight videotape for $59.95. But now, so millions more can enjoy this wonderful program, you get the Play the Guitar Overnight videotape, audio cassette, and book, all for the incredible low price of only $19.95. That's a $40 savings, but you must order now.
Steve Ross's Play the Guitar Overnight. It's fun, it's easy, and believe me, it really works.
To order, call 1-800-762-4600, just $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Sorry, no CODs, but check money orders are accepted. Don't wait, call now.
We are back in time for the face-off to the left side of Bergeron. Komets control it. Lucic around the boards, and Davidson had a high stick-up with Edgerton. Play continues, sticked away by Bergeron. Edgerton flipping it out of the zone. LaRouche chasing it. A 5-goal performance by LaRouche in Game 4. He's got one already tonight. Lead pass. Hurd trying to split two. Hit by both, and that was Drulia as well as Dubois. Around the boards, it comes back out. Icing is the indication. Waved off. Atlanta's played unsettled somewhat since that Gretzky giveaway. That goal seemed to take something out of them when Fort Wayne came back. Here's Boyce. Cut off by Rivers. Up ice it comes. 1-on-1 for LaRouche. Now 2-on-2, but it's coming back. Shots on goal in this period. Fort Wayne with the edge, so they're leading in the game 21-15.
It's very interesting how many times momentum can change in a game, and certainly when you got a 2-1 lead and a mistake as bad as Gretzky made there, it can really turn the heads on the bench down, and that's certainly what happened. Fort Wayne, you have to give them credit because they've capitalized. They've brought this team back, or this crowd back into the game, and they continue to forecheck, something that they weren't able to do in periods 2, 3, and in either of the 2 periods before the third period overtime goal the other night. But certainly Atlanta is struggling a little bit right now. They need something to happen, and they're going to need probably their big guns, or as we said in the keys, they need somebody else to step up. Give Drulia, give LaRouche, give Ruff some help out there, and that's what I'm sure that John Paris is talking about on the bench.
Yeah, when you think of it, all of the goals the other night, or almost all, 6 of the 7 came from the number 1 line. Medill also scored on the power play, but 5 came from the one guy, LaRouche. Here's Medill. Tanguay centering it. It's behind everybody. Poked back into the neutral zone. It's great when a guy scores 5 goals. You don't need any other support. That's the positive, but the negative is that what if he doesn't do it the next game? And you can't expect that from anybody, even close. Here's Purves. Medill and Tsyplakov collided with one another. Here's Purves centering it behind Chin, who has dumped. The penalty coming up. Penalty coming up on Atlanta for tripping, and it's Tanguay. And it's a bad time for a penalty.
Well, it's a bad time for a penalty, but it's also maybe a good time if they can kill it off, Atlanta. It's a great time for Fort Wayne. They've got the momentum going, but this is something that maybe Atlanta could use as a positive to turn the thing around. But there's no question that Tanguay does pull down Chin as he comes back with his man. Chin going to the front of the net, and again, they're swarming. Right now, Fort Wayne is swarming all over, and not a bad penalty to take at the time. And Atlanta's going to have to use this, especially with only under 3 minutes to go in this period. They don't want to fall behind by 2 goals going into that third.
Colin Chin had 1 assist in the first 3 playoff games. Has he ever come to life? 2 goals, 2 assists the last game, and he is already on the board in this one. His goal brought this team back. Power plays 1 for 1 tonight. They were 0 for 15 in this series, 0 for 44 when they scored the other night. Still, they were 3 for 10 on the power play. Atlanta was 4 out of 5, which was much better. The other night, 7 of the 13 goals on the power play. 7 came from the power play, and actually there was a streak of 7 straight goals where a goal came on the power play.
15 power plays the other night. Only our third call of the night, third power play for both sides. So very different game.
A more disciplined game for each side. The stakes are higher here for both sides. Fired in by Davidson. He had 3 assists the other night on that power play. Here's Chin. Oh, poke checked away. Out at the point it comes. Lost by Lambert. LaRouche, and there's Julia. Julia's great when he's a man down. Here he comes. The shot, though, is blocked. He has 3 shorthanded goals in the playoffs alone, and he had 7 during the regular season. Watch out when he's a man down.
Well, I think Fort Wayne very lucky on that. Julia breaking out. Lambert with a smart play. He grabbed a hold of LaRouche's stick. Didn't let LaRouche go by, and I think they got away with one here. You're going to see as LaRouche is trying to get back into play. Lambert's got a hold of his stick, and otherwise he lets him go. End up with a 2-on-1. It could have been a lot worse. But a good defensive play coming back on Julia there.
The ice time he gets is incredible. He and LaRouche, they're on the power play, equal strength. They double shift, and now they're penalty killing as well. Colin Chin in for this draw with Steve LaRouche. 2:14 left in the second. A game of momentum right now. It's in Fort Wayne's corner. And a chance to extend the lead. 1:17 in the power play. Colin Chin straight up the middle. In his 8th season with his club. Made the playoffs every year. Around the boards, Purves. Now it's Julia. Purves dug it out. Backhanded, not cleared out by Buchanan. Smith gives it up to Purves. Purves holding. 55 seconds in the power play. Chin circling. Center point, Lambert. The shot hit off the play in front. Purves. Oh, there's the save of the night in my book. Cat-like reflexes and a quick glove hand from J.C. Bergeron.
An excellent save, but again, Fort Wayne is doing what they have been able to do. They're getting pressure in front of the net. They've got 3 guys going to the net. Chin, Davidson, and Purves all in front of the net. Here you're seeing there's going to be a shot come from the point. Lambert blocks it, goes off a leg, and look at 2 guys all alone, and an excellent glove save by Bergeron that was headed for the top left corner of the net. But that's what they're doing. Back to the point, a shot, and then they converge on the net. 3 guys going to the net. You can't cover all 3 of them because you don't have enough men out there. And again, Purves with an excellent shot and an excellent save by J.C. Bergeron.
I'm impressed over the 2 games really studying him with that glove hand. He's got 20 saves tonight, but the last couple of nights, that glove hand has been spectacular. Here's Lambert. Power play on for another 43 seconds. Purves holding. Center point, Lambert. Lambert with a shot wide of a screen. Bergeron again. They continue to put that pressure on in front. Right across, Davidson to Purves. Backpedaling with it with 28 seconds left on the man advantage. Players are taking pokes at one another. That was Buchanan and Dave Smith in front. No penalty on either one called by Martell. Right circle of Davidson. In deep, Dave Smith comes out with it. 14 left in the power play. Chin. Right point, Davidson. Nice fake on the roof. So wrister blocked off a skate and tied up. It was off Rochford's skate, but that's why goaltenders will go down low, and Bergeron saw it all the way.
Well, an excellent play again, getting the shots on the net. It wasn't a hard shot that was taken from the point, but they're getting it on the net. You can see the traffic. Smith in front. Puck luckily hit the skate in front by Rochefort, or it could have ended up going to the right of our screen there, and Lambert was coming in all by himself, so maybe a lucky break there. But Atlanta, again, can maybe use this as a positive. They got 6 seconds to kill off on this power play. They come out of this with 3-2. This could inspire them to get the next goal.
Ready for the face-off. Middendorf against Edgerton. Middendorf wins it. Left point, Richison fired it. It was blocked. Nice block. It came out to the near side. Score! Tyler Hurd! Just as the power play ended. just as the power play ended, but they got a lucky break off the Richison shot that deflected right point.
Well, there's two guys going out to the point to deflect it, but again, you see it goes right over, and it's a great pass. Hurd makes no mistake sliding it right along the ice, goes between the pads of Bergeron, but an unlucky break, but a smart play from the point. Hurd coming in, takes it, and just flick of the wrist, and it's underneath Bergeron, and a wonderful goal, especially for Fort Wayne at this time. With under a minute, you don't want to get a goal scored against you in the last minute or first minute of the period, and all of a sudden, a commanding lead right at the moment with 2 goals. They can stay 2 goals ahead going into the third period. They're in good shape.
Left point shot by Sharon. It's loose. Julia tried to swoop down on it with 34 seconds left. Back the other way. Kevin MacDonald getting the assist. Here's another break. Dave Smith shot it wide. Tough hit from behind the net. Purves joining in as well as the puck is dug out. Around the boards it goes. Out at the left point, Richison. Purves giving it up to Chin, the backhander. Stopped in front. A right skate was flashed out by Bergeron. It's getting a little chippy out there now, and McDougall and Dave Smith are going to try and drop the gloves. McDougall kept his on, I think trying to goad Smith into an extra penalty. And now MacDonald is in the corner with Cummins, or with Campo, I should say. No, it is Jim Cummins, 29. That could be a heavyweight title fight. No strangers to the penalty box, those two.
Really a very quiet game up until now, but the tempers are really coming up now because this crowd is really into it. And Atlanta, for the first time, finds himself in this game in a really tough spot, being down 2 goals. 5 seconds left in the second period. They need some momentum. They need to get something going. Certainly one of the reasons why all this pushing and shoving is going on. But Fort Wayne playing very inspired hockey right now. They're all going. Everybody on the bench is up. Everybody in the seats is up.
This play started actually burning behind the net. McDougall was frustrated. His stick was being held. He complained to the referee. Nothing happened. And then I was watching the puck, but that's where it started, behind the net.
Well, I think McDougall is just frustrated, period. I think his knee is bothering. He was questionable about tonight. He got hurt in Game 4. Didn't know if he was going to play tonight, and he's really struggled a little bit. He's not skating like he has in the past games, so he's certainly feeling a little bit of that pressure that he needs to score for them.
You talked before, as we look at John Paris, about the big goal in the closing minute. 18:09 actually was the time of it, close of the period. But how about the fact that Bruce Boudreau finally got a goal from Kelly Hurd? The monkey's off his back. He's got to be the most elated guy going into the locker room if they can hold on to this lead, and they should with 5 seconds left.
Well, certainly Kelly Hurd has struggled. We've talked to him. We've talked to a lot of people here. Why is Kelly Hurd not scoring? He doesn't know why himself. But obviously, a big boost for him. He's going to be filled with confidence. This team is going to be back filled with confidence. And you can see Atlanta's, just by the look of the faces of the guys on the bench, they don't like what they see. So certainly a big, big boost for the Fort Wayne Komets. The crowd is behind them, and really scoring this late into the period and taking a 2-goal lead into the third period has got to be certainly a big boost for them.
Obviously, they will have the lead going in. Depends on where the faceoff is as to whether or not Atlanta would have a scoring chance. Depends on how these penalties go as well. Let's see if they will equal out, but it's 4-2 right now. Already Atlanta's given up double the goals that they gave up when Bergeron came in and played 94 minutes the other night. There's Kelly Hurd, 27. Big, big goal for him. You were a goal scorer, but you also set up a lot of people, so you didn't have to score goals. But I'm sure you played with pure goal scorers that were in slumps. So frustrating, especially if that's really the #1 way in which they help their team.
Well, if you're an offensive player, no matter if you're a passer or a scorer, you still need to chip the goal every once in a while. And you feel the pressure on the bench, especially. The guys, you know, right now they're down 3-1 in the series. If he was just putting a goal in, a goal a game, a goal every second game, he scored over 40 goals during the year. That's 1 every 2 games. If he's just playing to what he's supposed to be playing, to par, they might have won 1 or 2 more games. So certainly he was feeling the pressure, and I'm sure he's very relieved right now to be sitting on the bench to know that he's finally scored a goal in the series.
They're announcing the penalties, and we will try to get them for you. Looks like Cummins is only going to get 2, and MacDonald will get 2. And apparently that's it. As John Paris looks on, we can tell you that Fort Wayne is leading 4-2, and 5 of the 6 goals have been scored in this particular period. Fort Wayne getting the last 4, by the way, unanswered. You're watching Game 5 of this Turner Cup Finals series here on Prime, and it's a 3-1 lead for the Atlanta Knights. With Bernie Federico, I'm John Paul Della Cameron. While I was resetting the scene, there was a lot of booing in the background, so obviously another penalty on the board on the home side.
Well, Smith is going to get the extra penalty here. Now, I don't know why, because it looked like it was all even pushing and shoving, but obviously Rob Martell saw something that we didn't, and a good time for Atlanta, especially going into the next period, to have a power play to try to get back into it. But the last 5 seconds, usually nothing's going to happen but a big face-off.
And Chin does well just to tie up LaRouche, and that'll do it for this period. But a period that has been unkind all year to the Fort Wayne Komets was good to them this time. They got some breaks, made some of their own breaks, and now they have doubled the Atlanta Knights. They want to go to Atlanta to continue this series. Fort Wayne leads 4-2. We still have at least 20 minutes to go, so come back with us and watch the IHL on Prime.
After a hard day's work, are you tired and stressed? Are your muscles sore? Do your feet ache and burn? Introducing the K-Tel Master Masseur. With this high-powered electric motor, massaging fingers rotate and soothe, just like the hands of a professional masseur. Place the Master Masseur wherever your muscles are tense or aching. You'll feel instant relief. Simply press button. The massaging motion is reversed. You'll feel an amazing relaxing sensation. Lower back spasm or tension can be uncomfortable. Use Master Masseur for 5 to 10 minutes for soothing relief. Have you ever had tired, burning feet? The Master Masseur will give you relief you have never dreamed possible. Calves and thighs tired after a strenuous workout? These unique rotating fingers penetrate deeply, comforting and relaxing those tired, sore muscles. Athletes use the Master Masseur to relieve muscle fatigue, spasms, and stimulate blood circulation. Owning a K-Tel Master Masseur is like having a private masseur in your home. Similar masseurs sell for $200 or more. K-Tel Master Masseur special offer, 3 easy payments of $29.95. Here's how to order.
To order your Master Masseur, call 1-800-832-4900. That's 1-800-832-4900. We will bill your credit card in 3 monthly installments of $29.95 each. Relieve your tight, tired muscles and soothe away tension with a Master Masseur. Call now 1-800-832-4900. Just 3 payments of $29.95 each. Operators are standing by, so call now. 1-800-832-4900. That's 1-800-832-4900.
When it comes to value, Buick beats the imports hands down.
It's a fact, and the public ought to know about it.
Buick Skylark has standard anti-lock brakes. Toyota Corolla and Nissan Altima don't.
Golly, I'm so impressed.
Yet Skylark is value priced over $1,000 less than Altima, $1,500 less than Corolla.
This is the most fantastic story I've ever heard. And every word of it's true, too.
Get more car for your money. See your better Buick dealer today.
They're sizzling, they're stealing, and they're slugging all month long on Sports Channel.
That ball hit deep to right field. Way back. You can't put it on the
board. The Sox are lighting up the scoreboard, and Sports Channel has all the big guns this month. Kirby, Robin, Griffey, Ripken, and the Big Hurd. They're taken to the field all month long, and they're only on Sports Channel.
Welcome back, everyone, to Fort Wayne. It's a 4-2 lead for the Fort Wayne Komets. They were trailing in this game at one point by a score of 2-0. Along with Bernie Federico, I'm John Paul Della Camera. The surprise for me is how Atlanta lost momentum. They seem to be in the driver's seat, especially when you consider that they scored the goal at the start of the second period, some 31 seconds in.
Well, again, 2 things that Fort Wayne did. They scored on their first power play to make it 2-1, and then Brent Gretzky made a very, very bad mistake. He tried to carry the puck into his own zone. He was stripped of the puck by Tsyplakov, ended up 2-2, and I think from then on the momentum switched over to Fort Wayne. The crowd got behind them, and they just played inspired hockey. Kelly Hurd finally scored a goal late in that period to make it 4-2, so they really have controlled most of that period, a period that they'd really had a lot of trouble throughout the whole series. Their second period, really through the whole year, has been their worst period. It's been Atlanta's best. All of a sudden, they outscored Atlanta 4-1 in this period. The difference in the game right now.
If I can remember, your first key for Atlanta was concentration. They had it at the start of the game, start of the second period, seemed to lose it off of that Gretzky goal or giveaway, and not to belabor a point, but that really helped Fort Wayne come back in. Then they got their chance at the power play.
Well, absolutely. They really did. It brought the people on the bench. I think everybody in this crowd believed that 2-0, they're done. 2-1, maybe we got a chance. But then all of a sudden, it's 2-2. You know, the momentum comes up. The building gets a little more excited, and the guys feel it. That electricity rubs off on the bench, and those guys just kept working. They kept banging, plugging, and that's why they're back in this game. They're really, right now, they're back in this series. But Atlanta does have a chance. They go on the power play to start the third period, which is some a chance. If they can score again in the first minute of this period, they can get right back in the game.
Just like we told you before, don't count the Komets out. Well, don't count the Knights out either. They'd still like to end it tonight on the road in Fort Wayne. We'll be back to look at stats in just a moment.
Thursday, May 26th on AMC. John Wayne and Kirk Douglas in the story of two men at war with the enemy. And at war with themselves.
Get on your feet or take your troubles elsewhere. I got a ship to run.
Henry Fonda co-stars in Otto Preminger's World War II epic, In Harm's Way. Thursday, May 26th at 8:05 p.m. Central on AMC.
There's a battle going on against birth defects and infant mortality. In the U.S., 250,000 babies are born each year with birth defects. Nearly 40,000 babies die before their first birthday. But now, faithful support of the March of Dimes campaign for healthier babies is paying off in better health and better care. Please join our campaign. Sign up for volleyball at March of Dimes Spike Fest. That's June 11th on the beach at Northwestern in Evanston. Call 312-435-4007.
It's never too early to start taking care of yourself. Don't smoke, don't lose your heart-to-heart disease. February is American Heart Month. Support your American Heart Association. Call us for more information.
Hi, this is Kurt Zimmer from Kurt's Car Star Auto Body. Not all body shops are the same. With this cheap Easy Liner, we can return your car back to factory specifications. Remember, not all auto body repair shops are the same. As a member of the Car Star Collision Network, our staff is highly trained and constantly updated on the latest technology. At Kurt's Car Star Auto Body, we guarantee our work and your satisfaction. Come see us at 2025 Island Grove Road in Bloomington.
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 5 of the Turner Cup Finals. This game, it's a 4-2 lead for the Fort Wayne Komets in the series. Atlanta leads it 3-1. Along with Bernie Federko, I'm John Paul Della Camera. The biggest surprise in the stats, Bernie, look at the shots that Atlanta has after 2 periods. Or after 1 period, this one, but the total is very small.
It's unbelievable. Atlanta has not had this few shots since I can't remember when, but certainly Fort Wayne is having the better of the play. They're taking it to them. They outshot them 13-6. They're out shooting them 26-16 on the game. The faceoffs, again, are pretty even, 13-10. Penalties, 5 for 10 for each side, but really only 3 power plays. The 4th one is just starting. Again, Atlanta has not scored on their only power play chance. Fort Wayne, 1 for 2.
We'll take a look at the scoring summary. Drulia got this team off to a great start when he picked MacDonald's pocket. 31 seconds in, he scores unassisted. Then Chin, 246 on the power play from Purves and Lambert. Tsyplakov with a nice effort at 6:47, an unassisted goal after he took it off of Gretzky. Then Lambert at 14:13 from Tsyplakov. And then it was Kelly Hurd at 19:09. That snapped a long scoreless streak for Kelly Hurd. He had gone 10 games without a goal. So it was big for him and for his teammates as well, because when you're struggling, your teammates struggle as well. They know what you're going through.
Well, they're all feeling for him, too. He's a big part of their hockey club. He scored a lot of goals for them. They want him to be a part of it, and I think he took a lot of weight off his own shoulders, and he really pepped up that bench.
4-2 is your score. Fort Wayne leading Atlanta with just 1 more period to go. At least that's what we think. We'll look at highlights when we come back.
You can start losing up to 10, 20, 50, even 100 pounds with a new powerful behavior modification Easy Trim Diet Patch program for only $9.95. With this new doctor-approved Easy Trim Diet Patch program, it's so easy to lose weight you can lie around all day and still lose more weight than doing hundreds of painful sit-ups. Lori rapidly lost 56 pounds.
The weight just kept coming off.
Malia went from a size 16 to a 7.
I have more energy since I lost the weight.
Suzanne went from a size 12 to a 6.
I lost 31 pounds in 3 months. Make the call.
Monica trimmed 7 inches off her waist.
I lost 68 pounds. Make the call.
Joy dropped 5 dress sizes.
I lost 24 pounds. Make the call. It works.
Call 1-800-525-0300 to order. We accept all personal check and credit card orders by phone. Call 1-800-525-0300. Remember, have your checkbook or credit card ready when calling.
Back again. Check it, directed, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump, rejoice. There's a party over here, a party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake the dairy, yeah. These 3 words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, Hitman.
The Miller Genuine Draft Shoot the Bull, sponsored in part by the Chicago Tribune, Coca-Cola, Sport Mart, Salem Sportswear, and Chrysler Plymouth.
They're sizzling, they're stealing, and they're slugging all month long on Sports Channel.
That ball hit deep to right field. Way back. You can put it on the
The Sox are lighting up the scoreboard, and Sports Channel has all the big guns this month. Kirby, Robin, Griffey, Ripken, and the Big Hurd. They're taken to the field all month long, and they're only on Sports Channel.
Welcome back, everyone, to a sold-out War Memorial Coliseum here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. With Bernie Federico, I'm John Paul Della Camera. We've seen 6 goals in this game tonight, 5 in the second period. You'll see the 5, and it starts with Stan Drulia.
Well, Stan Drulia, again, cuts in after he stole the puck. As he's sliding down, he's still able to get enough presence to flick it over to the shoulder of Sidorkewicz. A power play goal right from the point. Dan Lambert takes a slap shot. And here's the goal that was really killer. Tsyplakov steals from Gretzky, makes a great move, and it's in the net to tie the score 2-2. A few minutes later, Lambert took a pass and roofs it underneath the bar. No chance for Bergeron to make the score 3-2. And finally, Kelly Hurd ended up getting the 4th goal of that period. He took a beautiful pass from Kevin MacDonald, and he one-timed it right underneath the pads of J.C. Bergeron. 4-2 the score. Not much chance that Bergeron had on the goal. And again, a great period for Fort Wayne.
4-2 here. Remember, when we come back with the start of the 3rd period, the Knights are on a power play, and this could be a turning point in the game. Come back with us and find out on Prime. Welcome back, everyone, to Fort Wayne, Indiana. The building is rocking because the Komets are leading 4-2, and this could be a turning point here. Atlanta's on a power play. Obviously, if they score, that's a big lift. If they don't, maybe that momentum continues for Fort Wayne.
Well, real important first couple of minutes for both teams here. Fort Wayne, again, the other night, game 4. 5-4 lead, 17 seconds into the 3rd period. LaRouche scored a goal, or I guess Drulia scored a goal to tie it at 5. So certainly they don't want to see that happen, but a big boost for both sides. If Atlanta scores, they got to have the momentum for a while. If Fort Wayne kills it off, it certainly could be the hockey game.
And it could be more than a hockey game. The season lies in the balance tonight if Atlanta wins it. If not, Game 6 Wednesday in Atlanta, and it's here on Prime. We are underway. 3rd and final period. At least we think it'll be the 3rd and final period, but the other night, triple overtime, and 5 hours later, we weren't sure what happened. 140 on a power play. Knights, of course, have the big unit out there up top. LaRouche, Drulia, and Rupp. Points are marked by Edgerton and Dubois behind Sidorkewicz. One of the penalty killers is Boyce. He's out with Davidson and Lambert. Rounding out that unit is Kerry Lusick as it's cleared down ice. 1:19 left.
Atlanta's really having a lot of trouble handling the puck tonight, especially this power play. It's only their 2nd one, but they seem very uptight. And usually they move the puck around so smoothly, and they've really had trouble.
Get out to the good start, and they have been rattled ever since. They had that 2-0 lead, and then saw it disappear. Around the far boards, kept in, dead and well by LaRouche to Stan Drulia. Drulia battling. Look at him use his feet. Now to Medill. Fires it in wide. Off LaRouche, it looked like. Banged off the boards and down ice.
They're not setting it up at all, JP. If you don't set it up, you're not going to get a good chance, and that's what they've been doing. They're really struggling with it.
And the struggles continue. Rivers back in his own end. As the Knights try to change up, they send Gretzky out along with Tanguay. Medill stays. Drop pass was not a good one, and it's cleared by Lee Davidson. 20 seconds left on the Knights' man advantage. It's a 4-2 lead for Fort Wayne here on Prime. Game 5, the Turner Cup Finals, Atlanta. Lead it 3 games to 1. No one has ever come back, as we told you, from 3-1 down in this championship series. Here's Martin Tanguay and his coach, John Paris. He knows this game's not over yet. If the other game wasn't over in Game 4, this certainly isn't.
Well, if you can come back from 5 goals over the course of 3 periods, you can certainly come back from 2 in 1 period. So certainly it's not over till it's over.
Imagine a coach's voice at the end of 5 hours. We didn't get to see either guy at the end of the night. Maybe that was a blessing for them that they didn't have to do any more talking. But with all the yelling and screaming at officials, at your players, and with the noise level here, 5 hours later, you're lucky if you're whispering.
But the voice is real strong if you win the game.
Yeah, it's stronger. Stronger than the losing coach. I agree. Out at the right point. Big slap shot is deflected, but they don't get the Komets bounce. It clears the zone. The Komets have killed the penalty. Darren Smith was back out there. Puck is cleared the other end. Sidorkewicz lets it go for the icing as Tredowitz makes the touch. I don't think the fans realized that the penalty had been killed.
Well, again, not a good power play at all. A good job by Fort Wayne, maybe putting a lot of pressure on, but certainly Atlanta not heads-up plays. They had a couple of opportunities to get set up and get some control, but they weren't able to do it. And consequently, it seemed like it was a real easy kill for Fort Wayne. But Fort Wayne, again, killed off both penalties, something that they weren't able to do the other night. Atlanta went 4 for 5 in games from running the power play. They've already killed off 1 more than they did that whole game. So certainly Fort Wayne 1 for 2 on the power play has been a big boost to this club, and the difference in the hockey game right now.
When that last unit was out on that #1 line, Tsyplakov was not out there. We have not seen him in a while. He was checked pretty hard in the neutral zone, and we haven't had any kind of an injury report, but I can't remember the last time we had seen him. Here's Lusing. A wrister right at Bergeron, who just covers it. J.C. Bergeron shared the Norris Trophy, which in this league goes to the best goaltending job. He shared it with Mike Greenlake. And you wonder, as Bruce Boudreau looks on, if Atlanta loses this game, does J.C. Bergeron stay in goal, or is it Mike Greenlake coming it home? Thoughts that I'm sure are not even on John Paris's mind right now.
Well, not at the moment, but you know, what a wonderful position to be in. Both guys have played real well, and certainly either one you could turn to, and he'd do a great job for you.
Lusing keeps it in. Boyce. Davidson. A wrister, and it's sticked away by Bergeron. Davidson. You get the feeling that if the Komets could get 1 more goal tonight, that would do it. But it's only a feeling. You don't think they would blow another lead like they did the other night. Certainly not the way they're playing tonight. But we wouldn't have guessed that the other night either. Here's Davidson. Nice pass. Boyce tried to pass it off. The shot was there. That's a time to be selfish, I think. Cleared back the other way. Kicked at by Buchanan. And into the neutral zone it goes for Rupp. Jason Rupp. Drulia. Nice cut. And then he is checked down behind the net. Sidorkewicz leaves it for Curry Lusing. Danny Lambert. Off a deflection. Just got by Rochford. Cut off by Sharon. Eric Sharon. He's played some in Sherbrooke in the American Hockey League, and the whistle stops play on the offside. It's still 4-2. The home side is winning it. It's the Komets 4 and the Knights 2. We'll be right back.
Every April in Washington, one new idea is named Invention of the Year. Recently, it was the invention that's made room-filling stereo sound finally this easy to live with. From America's most respected name in stereo, a new concept, lifelike stereo sound, smaller, smarter, and more affordable than ever before. The Wave Radio from Bose. To learn all about this new kind of radio, call now and find out why the San Francisco Chronicle insists it must be heard to be believed. The Chicago Tribune says, Dr. Bose, my check's in the mail. And Popular Science named the Wave Radio best of what's new. If you love music or magic, call now.
Here on Prime, it's a 4-2 Fort Wayne lead, and again, the Komets have their number one line on, and Tsyplakov is not there, so based on the way he's played, you know he's hurt. He certainly wasn't benched, not with the night he's having.
Well, he favored his knee when he went off, and he got hit kind of low in the neutral zone, and he favored his knee as he went, and he went right to the bench, so he must have hurt his knee, and I don't know if he's on the bench. I don't see him. I can't tell from this angle.
Rochford with a tip up ice. There's MacDonald. Taken away. Right side. Cummins looking to center it back. Edgerton fires it. Flashed out by Sidorkewicz. Chin around the boards on the near wing. Kept in by the Knights. Sidorkewicz goes behind the net. Didn't see a Knights player there. That was McDougal coming in front. Oh, nice save by Sidorkewicz. McDougal saw an opening for only a split second.
Well, McDougal needs to score a goal. The Atlanta Knights need someone else to get him going. They need some extra help here. And McDougal takes it upon himself to try to cut to the net here. He sees a little opening, doesn't get much of a shot, and Richison takes him out into the back of the net. But again, good effort by McDougal here in the corner, fighting for the puck away from Chin, and he goes to the net, but doesn't get much wood on the shot. Ends up getting knocked over top of Sidorkewicz into the net.
Well, McDougal saw an opening. Sidorkewicz had the leg split for a split second, if you'll pardon that pun, but he couldn't get the score. He's had 11 in the playoffs. One by him or anyone else for the Knights would be big in this period. Dubois fires it wide of Sidorkewicz. Fletcher will pick it up. Neutral ice pass to Middendorf. Shot in, gloved by Bergeron, and he holds on with Purves right on the doorstep. And now some pushing at the whistle. Middendorf and Fletcher are in. Here's where Fort Wayne should not lose their focus and their concentration. And the linesman goes down with one of the Knights' players. Referee's right there taking names and numbers, guys. Don't fool around. You're Fort Wayne. You've got the momentum.
And you got some big guys out there. Fletcher, I think his first shift, he didn't have many shifts in the game. He's out there. When he's out there, there's trouble. Big guys out on the ice. Their whole 6'2", 217 for Fletcher. Middendorf got listed at 6'4", 210. A couple of real big guys.
It's not like they're hard to spot. Middendorf will go off, and we'll see who else is going off.
And Darren Smith, 6'2", 204.
It's Middendorf and Dubois both are going off. Well, the referee Martell wants to keep control. This has been a good game from a referee standpoint. Game is in control. You don't like to call a lot of penalties. It certainly beats the other night with all those stoppages.
Well, I think both teams realized that they both got into trouble by stupid penalties the other night, and I think the referee has done a great job. But I think the guys know that a penalty could be real costly, and they're playing really solid hockey right now.
4-on-4. Out at the right point, Lucic fires, it's blocked. Hurd, a blast, and he just missed. You could see the wide open net on the far side. I was about to say the 4-on-4, though, does favor the Knights, certainly with this unit out there right now. Drulia and LaRouche. And especially since they play very well when they're 4-on-4.
Well, they've done the majority of the damage at no matter how many guys are on the ice, but 4-on-4 gives them some extra skating room, and they've been able to carry the puck and do a lot more things with it in the open ice.
14:57 to play in the third period. It's a 4-2 game. Fort Wayne doubling Atlanta, trying to extend the series to at least 6. And if they do, Game 6 is in Atlanta Wednesday. Rivers, left circle, fires it just off the gloved hand of Sidorkewicz. Right point. Oh, Buchanan had it as it's dumped back in. It would have been an offside. Buchanan looked like he could have made that play at the right point. Rochford poked it, but onto the stick of Smith. Cleared out by Buchanan, just missing LaRouche. Well, he was in a one-on-one situation. Boyce tucks it in. Dave Smith, nice job to beat Buchanan. McDougal is there as well. 3 players jam for it. 45 seconds left in the coincidental minor penalties. Out at the right point, the shot, save, rebound. Boyce was looking for it. Off the MacDonald shot behind the net. Boyce. Players battling in front. Buchanan without his stick. Now dumped right back in. Buchanan has obviously broken the stick because he's not making any attempt to go pick it up. And he can't go to the bench for another. Right point shot. Nice stick save. Bergeron was there. Tanguay. Here's where they got to think about icing it.
Well, one of the forwards needs to give Buchanan a stick. The defensemen need to have the sticks. One of those forwards out there should be giving Buchanan a stick so he can at least clear the front of the net and then go to the bench.
Barring that, ice it. Get it out of there because it's tough the longer you play without the stick for defensemen. That was about 20 seconds. Here's Purves. Poke checked away. Rivers again with a nice defensive effort. Good hustle by the Komets behind the net. 4 players again. Oh, bodies are flying. And Chin delivered the last check. One of the smallest players out there. Bergeron will tie it up with Colin Chin spun around by Sharon. It's getting interesting here at Fort Wayne. The Komets are still leading 4-2 with 13:08 left in the third.
Get caught up on all the day's sporting events with New Sport Tonight. A complete half hour of sports news and information with scores and highlights of the day's action and a preview of the evening's big events. New Sport Tonight delivers expert analysis on the topics you want to know about. And New Sport Tonight gives you nightly TV listings of where to find your favorite teams. Scores, highlights, previews, analysis, and listings. New Sport Tonight sets the stage for the day in sports.
Fly Delta Airlines, the official airline of Walt Disney World, for a dream golf vacation for 2 at Disney World. Watch Man vs. Mouse tonight on the Sports Channel Report for your chance to win.
We're back on Prime. This is the 1994 Turner Cup Finals. Game 5. Atlanta leads in the series 3-1, but they'll need 2 goals to tie this one. And at least 3 at this point to end the series tonight. But who knows how many more, if any, goals we'll see.
Well, Fort Wayne has certainly controlled this period, even playing the first 2 minutes shorthanded. They've been all over Atlanta. Atlanta has not been able to make their passes. They haven't been able to get any control. They've got no flow going right now. Fort Wayne has kept them totally off balance.
Purves came in after Chin was taken out of the circle, along with the night center. Here's Rivers. Too much room to give him and an offside. I think Edgerton was pushed over, actually, by Darren Smith. Starting to get a little bit chippier here now. Maybe a little frustration on Atlanta's part, but whether they win or lose this game, full credit to the Fort Wayne Komets. Some teams would have thought about going and golfing, as they say, tea time on Monday. These guys want the series to go to Atlanta, and they've played well enough. If Atlanta comes back in the third period, full credit to Atlanta, but right now let's credit the Komets.
Well, you can't forget one thing. These guys are the defending Turner Cup champs. There's a lot of guys on this club that were here last year, know what it's like, knows what it feels like to carry that cup around after it's all over. And certainly 11 guys, in fact, have got that, and they are they know what it means, and they are certainly going down that bench saying, guys, we can still do it.
I think it may be 12 if you count the mascot, but I'm not sure his name is on the cup. Puck is dumped into the Knights' end. Rochford around the boards for Drulia. In a battle. Drulia with Davidson. Davidson staying with it. Knights have depended on this #1 line a lot in the playoffs and regular season. And right now, as you said, someone else may have to step up. I mean, this line may still do it, but you'd certainly be taking some of the pressure off them if someone else does score.
Well, they certainly need someone to score, whoever it is. Certainly they've counted on this line all year long, and this line will probably do it again, but is it going to be tonight? I don't know. But everybody on that Atlanta bench is saying, someone get us going. And this line is going to have to do it the way it appears right now, because no one has stepped forward yet.
Julia is out there, along with Ruff and LaRouche. Takes a crazy bounce. LaRouche shot, tip, save. Sidorkewicz off Ruff. Julia upset. I think he got high stick. Hurd leaving it off. Here's Lucic. Good pass. Onside is Ian Boyce. Flipped it across. Nobody was there. Blasted by Julia. Out of the zone into neutral ice for Lucic. 12:03 left in the third period. 4-2. Fort Wayne leading it. Trying to extend the series to at least 6 if they do. Game 6 is in Atlanta Wednesday. If they need 7, it's Saturday in Atlanta. Prime will be there to cover it. Here's a chance the other way. A backhand by Cummins, not on net. And he's taken down. Fletcher battling in the corner. Look out for Cummins. Cummins lays a hit on Fletcher. It's loose and then dug out. 2 more players are down behind the net. Martell has one eye in the play and one eye behind the net. Puck is flipped back down and then gloved and then dropped. That could have been very close to a penalty on Richison for gloving and holding onto the puck. Look at this one. There's a nice bad bounce. Edgerton with a flip. Up ice into the neutral zone. Edgerton getting it back. Rivers. McDougal. 11:05 left. Here's McDougal. Bill McDougal with 11 playoff goals. Good pass back. Buchanan. Cummins didn't have the stick down. Into the corner. Edgerton. Centering pass is deflected. Cummins chasing it. Got a piece but not all. Here's Middendorf. Richison. Dave Smith tees it up. That's wide of J.C. Bergeron. And the Komets will change up on the fly. Knights keep the same unit on for now. Lead pass. Off a deflection. Sidorkewicz. That took a crazy hop. The net's empty. Centering pass. Didn't go in. That could have been a big turning point right there. No fault of Sidorkewicz. That puck took a strange bounce.
And Jeff Medill missed a wide open net as he went by.
Coming back in the right. Purves. Settle down. Cleared by Sharon into the neutral zone. 3-on-3. Knights. Gretzky. Around a check. Plays it in front. Tange didn't have control. That would have been a great assist from Gretzky. Darren Smith can't clear out. The shot saves Sidorkewicz. A penalty coming up, I believe, on Dupuis. But Medill looks like he's upset. Now, maybe he's frustrated about the miss on his part, but I saw a Knights player go flying, and it looked like Dupuis was the man.
He's going to go off for cross-checking. Gretzky's parked in front of the net, got cross-checked from behind. But Jeff Medill certainly disappointed and mad at himself for missing what was a wide open net as he came in off the left wing. He was on his forehand. The puck came out from behind the net. He was all alone, and he shot it to the far side. You're going to see here Dupuis cross-check behind Gretzky, and that's 2 minutes. His referee is standing right there making the call.
That was a great setup from Gretzky to Tange, but Tange just never had control of the puck.
I think he rushed himself a little bit. He, again, a little too anxious, a little too excited. Instead of just corralling it real softly, taking a step and shooting it, I think he had the real stone hands right there. He was gripping too hard.
That's where the speed hurt him. He has to harness that speed.
Right.
If you're busting down the wing, that's great, but right there it called for a little softer approach.
Here we're going to see, take a look at it. Sidorkewicz get cut. McDougal gives it right in front, and as Medill came in, he shot it between the far post.
Back to live action. Out at the right point. Edgerton, the shot went wide of Sidorkewicz. Behind the cage, Julia centers it. Oh, Edgerton can't find it. Rivers can, and then he lost the handle. Julia again. Rivers fires it. It's wide. Hops to the right side for Edgerton. LaRouche holding on with a stick of Lambert, and the Komets clear.
Well,
The Knights can't continue to have power play chances and come up empty. These are important parts of the game, and now it's less than 10 minutes to play.
Well, they are running out of time, and they certainly got to get set up, and they got to do it as a team. They can't do it individually.
Ruff. Checked on the play. Drulia. A rolling puck. Settled Edgerton fires it. Block. Edgerton got a lucky break back in front. Ruff backhander. Saves Sidorkewicz. And now some frustration. I think Drulia's upset because he's probably been knocked several times tonight and probably a lot off the puck that we're not even detecting.
Well, there's a lot of action that goes on. Richison, after the whistle, took a couple of punches in the back of Ruff's head. So certainly when we come back, we'll have to see if there's going to be any more penalties called, and we'll be right back.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Still going to your full commission broker? Even though your best interest may be overshadowed by a hunger for commissions, unwanted sales pressure, and biased information. If so, there is a way out. Trade up to Schwab. At Charles Schwab, our brokers don't work on commission, so the information you get is always unbiased and totally free of sales pressure. And at Schwab, you'll enjoy low commissions, too.
For a better way to trade up to Schwab. It's a 4-2 game. Fort Wayne leading Atlanta. They're announcing the penalties in the background. Drulia went in, and then he came out. I guess they had the wrong guy because now Jason Ruff's going in.
Well, there's the tackle. You see right there was either Tsyplakov, I think, that tackled Drulia from behind, and then there's some pushing and shoving. You can see Richison come in and try to grab a hold of Ruff there. So what's going to happen is Ruff, I believe, and Richison end up with the penalties, and Drulia and Tsyplakov get nothing at all. So still coincidental minors, so the power play will stay the same at 5-on-4 for Atlanta for the next minute and 4 seconds.
I don't know who's behind that costume, but correct me if I'm wrong. That mascot worked in a triple overtime the other night. Imagine how hot it is in that suit.
and acted like that the whole time.
He did. What energy, what sugar. He doesn't drink decaf, he or she, I should say. I'm not sure who's in there.
Maybe there's more than one. How would we know?
That's right. Face-off will be to Sidorkewicz's left. 5-on-4. Knights for another 104. Cummins, Medill. Medill's their power play guy in the playoffs. 4 goals, 4 power plays. Right shot deflected upstairs off the shot from Dubois.
Right now, nothing going right for the Atlanta Knights. The puck just seems to be going everywhere but the right direction. Now, the guy is so popular, he's signing autographs. JP, you should be down there sitting next to him.
How do you sign? How do you sign with those feathers or whatever he's got on?
What do you sign?
That's it.
What is his name?
We never study the names of the mascots. I do apologize. Bruce Boudreau looking on. He may be looking at a Game 6 in Atlanta. It'll be on Prime. Check your local listings for it. Right now, unless the Knights make a concerted come-from-behind effort, there will be a Game 6 in Atlanta. Drulia behind his own net, 40 seconds and counting down to the power play. Over the line it comes. Medill was chasing it. Cummins held back by the stick of Davidson. Into the corner, Lucic. Davidson will clear. 25 seconds left in the man advantage. And now even less, Bergeron trying to help his own cause. Time for one last rush here, down to 15 seconds. And they may not get that unless they get the puck. Davidson dumps it back. Good penalty killing. Drulia. Too far from Medill, who looked very tired there near the end. But he's staying on. Left there for McDougall. Right back. Here's a chance back at a short side by Medill. Now McDougall. Right out in front, missing. was Cummins. A turnout shot blocked. Rivers did well to keep it there, or else it could have been a breakaway. There still might be an advantage. Purves over the line. It's 5-on-5 hockey right now. Penalty killing has been exceptional compared to the last game, especially for Fort Wayne, who gave up 4 and 5 chances on Thursday night. Atlanta trying to center it out. Near side, Sharon. 4-2. Fort Wayne leading at 7:10 left in this period. Period number 3 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The sellout crowd again, getting their money's worth. Smith. And now it's Colin Chin firing it back into the zone. You don't want to go into a defensive shell, but you certainly don't want to gamble here if you're the Komets.
Well, certainly Atlanta's going to have to start taking some chances, down a couple of goals. We're getting down to 6 minutes now. What's going to happen is you're going to see the defenseman starting to pinch a little more and probably try to carry the puck, try to get some odd man rushes. And by doing that, Fort Wayne stays patient. They could end up getting some 2-on-1s and maybe even a breakaway. So it's going to be really an important part of the game right here.
6:32 to go, and now Temper's short again in the corner. Neither team has used their timeout, and of course, the later it gets, you can always speculate on pulling the goaltender for an extra attacker. It's still 4-2 Fort Wayne with 6:32 left.
They come together.
When Carrie Norris moved to a new apartment, all she wanted was some excitement in her life. But how much excitement can a girl take? Sharon Stone, William Baldwin, and Tom Berenger star in Sliver, Saturday, May 28th at 8 on HBO.
And Brian Brown is at it again, only this time, he's not clowning around. In FX2, Sunday, May 29th at 9 on HBO. Make your move to great movies this weekend on Telecable.
This assignment is confidential.
They've done it before.
Stakeout.
And they'll do it again.
We heard you're good at it.
But this time, she's calling the shots.
I'm the boss.
It's another blast.
Get down.
Another screen. Another good reason to watch pay-per-view.
Watch a pro.
Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez, and Rosie O'Donnell.
Feel like a family already.
Another stakeout. Pay-per-view makes it easy to bring home the laughs.
Martell been busier of late, not so much in the beginning when the first period was relatively penalty-free. Draw to the left side of Sidorkewicz. Atlanta needs one. They need 2 to tie, but 1 to give them some kind of life, some breathing room. Here's a shot taken. Sidorkewicz won't let that go. Medill got a piece. The rest was kept in by Rochford. Gretzky trying to center it out. Blocked. Here's Middendorf. 2-on-2 with Dave Smith. Smith dumping it in. Along the boards. Picked up by Buchanan. Both teams will have a few days off in terms of game competition. If it does go to a game 6, it's not till Wednesday. Darren Smith checking into Buchanan. Buchanan centers it in the slot. Nobody home. Kelly Hurd picks it up. There he goes. Good stick handling. And then lost it. Drulia, quick turnaround to Medill. Look at the diving play by Drulia. That's just great effort. Drulia talking to the referee Martell. I guess Stan doesn't agree with our comments about it being a pretty well officiated game. But he's more partial than we are.
Well, Fort Wayne is doing all the right things right now. They're using their size. They're finishing their checks, not letting Atlanta get started at all.
Atlanta tries to get the jump start here. Edgerton flipping it inside. A shot. Score! There's a big goal for Ruff. Big goal for Jason Ruff. It's now 4-3. Don't turn off the lights yet on the Knights.
Again, the big line comes through with Jason Ruff getting really a lucky bounce. This one looked like it was totally going to be cleared and kicked out, but it's going to end up going off a skate. Here's the play. It's just a harmless-looking shot to the middle that's going to hit the skate right there of Dan Lambert, and Jason Ruff just whacks it and goes to the far side of Peter Sidorkewicz. Again, Edgerton with just a harmless-looking shot, hits Lambert's skate. Jason Ruff, Johnny on the spot, and bangs it home past Peter Sidorkewicz.
Well, we've seen a few of those deflections in this series. We see another. Lucic battling. give the goal to Ruff. It's his 6th goal of the playoffs. LaRouche, a long shot. Sidorkewicz. Now it's Lucic. Now, do the Knights come on strong, and does Fort Wayne get rattled? Is it their turn, or do they settle down and still win this game and force a game number 6 in Atlanta? Edgerton leading it for Ruff. What a big goal for Ruff. We talked about somebody else coming forward. That's an assist man, at least in this playoff, with 15.
Only his 6th goal, so he certainly has been the guy that's been setting up the plays, but no goal is bigger to him.
Right in front. Cummins had a chance. That was very close to a tie game. Fort Wayne coming back. You don't want to take a penalty there. Jim Cummins almost gets one, and he may have gotten a very good break.
Well, when you come down to the last 4 minutes of a game, you don't see that call very often, especially in a game this important. It's going to have to be a scoring chance.
Tanguay, look at this speed again. Took a hit, bounced off a couple. Tanguay tried to center it, and it was blocked. Komets dig it out with Purves. Flips it for Chin, 2-on-2 on the off wing. Chin drops off a rolling puck. The shot, glove by Bergeron. He didn't dare move. An excellent wrister by Darren Smith, and equally fine Bergeron save.
Well, that one almost on its way into the back of the net, almost went through the armpit, almost underneath between the glove and the chest protector of J.C. Bergeron, but an excellent save. Atlanta finally getting more shots in a period than Fort Wayne, outshooting them 7-5, but they still trail 31-23 in shots on the game.
Face-off will be to the left side of J.C. Bergeron. John Parrish knows his team's not out of it.
Absolutely not. What we've seen over the last couple of games, I don't think anybody's out of it until that final buzzer goes.
He's going to tell that story about Game 4 to every team he ever coaches. His teams will never be out of it because he'll always have that story.
Absolutely. And you have to give him credit. He was, sure, a big part of it. The great motivator, and I'm sure he had a lot of things to tell those guys that they listened to. And there's the man, Steve LaRouche, as we just saw a quick shot of him, who did all the damage with 5 goals.
Off the draw. Rivers, a rolling puck. Kept in apparently by Lucic, who can't see from this angle. But the linesman's right there. Here's Kelly Hurd. Blocked. He got it back. Davidson right across. The skate of Bergeron caught it. Tsyplakov behind the net. Davidson chasing. Rivers trying to pin him. Down to 3:27 in regulation time. Atlanta needs one to tie. Here's Tsyplakov. All the way around the boards. Bergeron couldn't stop that. It was still rolling. Kept alive. Davidson working it. Now to Boyce. He flips it in behind Bergeron. This is Rivers. Leaving it off for LaRouche. Off the board speed for Jason Ruff. Slowed down. Got it to LaRouche. Over the line. Drop pass. Julia fires. Sticked away by Sidorkewicz. That's his best save of the night, especially when you look at the clock.
That was a big, big save, and I thought that Drulia was going to try to shoot that to the far side, and he shot it right along the ice to the short side, and Sidorkewicz did well to get his stick on it and deflect that over the glass.
I think if you're a Komets fan, that was scary looking as we look at the scoring by period. Fort Wayne's worst period all year. Second period, not tonight. Atlanta's best period all year. Again, not tonight. They're outscored 4-1. Atlanta has the only goal of this period. Ruff got it, his 6th of the playoffs at 14:39. Draw to the right side of Sidorkewicz. Every face-off, every save critical now for both sides. McDougall in for the draw. With Chin. Colin Chin wins it. Behind the net, Tsyplakov. Off the boards. Sharon couldn't keep it in as he fell down. Back into neutral ice. Buchanan for McDougall. Medill snaps it in. Sidorkewicz leaves his net. Look out. Peter Sidorkewicz off the boards. Almost taken by Medill. Cleared out. Here's a chance if it's onside. Smith. Darren Smith tried to center it out, and it's blocked. Great defense by Martin Tanguay. Chin. Center point Purves. And that was blocked. It looked like by Sharon wide. Here's Darren Smith again. Looking for the wraparound. Purves was open. 2:13 left. Atlanta down by 1 at 4-3. McDougall tried to just tip it away. The center line. Lambert fires in. Komets want fresh players out there now. Last thing you want is a tired player stuck out there because he can't change. Icing was indicated, and that's the call. Both teams now can put out their freshest and/or best players.
Well, that's what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised. John Purves has still got a timeout. So does Bruce Boudreau, so they can call at any time. There's a lot of tired players. There's a lot of guys, especially the Chins, the Purveses, the Drulias, the LaRouches, the Ruff. He's got plenty of time to use them on this shift, call a timeout, and then get them back out with still a couple of minutes to go. But you're going to see the timeouts used and used real well in the next couple of minutes. So everything's riding in this last 2 minutes, especially for Fort Wayne. They need to win. They can't afford to let Atlanta score if they want to prolong this series.
Face off to the right side of J.C. Bergeron. Davidson will take it with LaRouche. Komets get it. Flipped in by Lambert. Boyce in the corner. He and Dubois there. Eric Dubois will come away with it. We'll watch the Atlanta goal to see if Bergeron vacates. Rivers dumping it in. Sidorkewicz. Around the glass. Drulia is going to keep it alive behind the net. Ruff trying to center for LaRouche. It's still loose. Out toward the left point. Rivers fires it blindly. Cut off by Kerry Lusick. Up for Davidson. Bergeron was looking toward the bench. Making eye contact, it seemed, with John Paris. 1:15 left. Down to the right side. This one's going for icing. That's not what the Atlanta Knights want. Not at all. They don't want to pull a goaltender, obviously. They can't with the face-off in their own end. And that's where the next draw is coming.
Well, they have plenty of time to get good control, skate up with it. The biggest thing that happens all the time is the guy wants to get a face-off down there that he wants to move the puck. Skate with it. Keep your legs moving. If no one comes towards you, keep skating it, get to center ice, dump it in, and then get that whistle. But they certainly got a lot of time yet. 1:07. They need 1 goal, not 2. They can get it down there even with the last 20, 25 seconds. They got plenty of time to get that equalizer. But again, Fort Wayne has got to use their size. They've got a lot of big wingers. They got a Purves on. They got a Darren Smith. Big guys. Get the puck deep. Get it in your feet and keep it along the boards. Just eat some time off that clock.
The defending champion Komets are playing like defending champions. They don't want to go out. They're at home. They want to go to Atlanta for Game 6 on Wednesday. Some of the fans sound like they're willing to spend the money to go to Atlanta as well. But there's still 1:04 left. Along the boards. Knights bring it out. Bergeron signaling to the bench. Cummins dumps it in. Bergeron's not sure. Now he's coming out. Sidorkewicz with a stick on it, and it went out just as Bergeron was leaving. There seemed to be some confusion there. As Bergeron was trying to come out, he wanted to make sure it was the right time, so somewhere communication seemed lost.
Well, I think he was looking for Paris, and Paris is a lot smaller than the rest of the guys, and he was forward in the bench. He couldn't see him. Who was calling? He didn't know if the coach was calling or one of the players, but there's their face-off deep in the Fort Wayne end. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a timeout called here by either Boudreau or Paris.
I saw Stan Drulia talking to Martel, who then indicated a timeout, so this one should be Atlanta's, but either coach you would expect would want to call it.
Well, here's the situation now is that Atlanta's got to realize it's only 1 goal. They still got 49 seconds. If something doesn't work, don't do anything stupid. You got plenty of time. If they get it out, get it back in there and get another face-off. You still got plenty of time. You got 49 seconds. This is where this draw becomes very, very important. If they lose the draw, they're all going to have to converge, freeze that puck again so they can get another face-off so they can try to get control back to their blue line so they can set up a play or else take a shot and then go for the net. But this is where the face-offs are such an important part of the game. Colin Chin will probably be taking the face-off for Fort Wayne and probably Steve LaRouche for Atlanta.
You have seen almost 2 great complete games in 2 nights here this week on Prime. This one not yet over yet. You may see a Game 6 in Atlanta on Wednesday. This is Game 5. Knights are leading at 3-1. If they win this game, they win the series, but they're down by 1 goal, 4-3. Their net is empty. They need 1 to tie with 49 seconds left. That can be an eternity. J.C. Bergeron wanting to come back, wants overtime. Off the draw. A battle for it. Dave Smith, the length of the ice, it's looking good. He scores! talked about the importance of face-offs, and Atlanta never seemed to get anywhere with that one.
Well, that face-off was more or less tied. Dave Smith won the battle along the boards. And right now, as you look back, a great decision to shoot it into the empty net. You see Dave Smith come over, fight the battle with Jason Ruff, and win the battle. And not a smart play to shoot it down the ice from that far away, 200 feet, 180 feet to try to score, but it did end up in the net, so all's well. But if he would have missed the net, it would have been a face-off back in the zone, another chance for Atlanta, but all's well, it ends well, and I'm certain he's relieved, because if he would have missed the net, he could have been in big trouble.
I'll tell you, the percentages, I guarantee you, will show a majority of those are icing.
Absolutely.
That net's open, but it's a long way off. Here's Medill, wide of Sidorkewicz, who appeared to go down early, and he's not going to get up without having that puck underneath the glove.
Well, this crowd just loves it, doesn't it?
Except the fans that came down from Atlanta. They were hoping to see their team win it here tonight. That's not about to happen.
Well, they played a hard game, but Fort Wayne has met the challenge.
Al Michaels called the U.S. win in the 1980 Olympics the Miracle on Ice. I don't know what would call this here if Atlanta tied it. 13 seconds left at 5-3. Would have to come up with another word.
JC, I'll give you 10-1 odds.
No. Not going to happen tonight. Out at the point. Dubois fires it in wide. Dave Smith, a hero tonight in Fort Wayne. The crowd counts him down. That's it. There will be a Game 6 in Atlanta. Fort Wayne wins it. Great win tonight for the Fort Wayne Komets. A lot of people would not have given them much of a chance tonight, especially the way Atlanta was playing. Atlanta had only lost one game the entire playoffs. This was a gutsy performance, and they had every right to give up tonight when they were down by 2.
Absolutely. Again, it's a game of breaks. It's a game of emotion. And certainly, they came with a lot of emotion. They got behind early, but they didn't quit. And certainly when they got that first goal on the power play, and then they got the second goal on the turnover, the crowd came alive, and they just continued to go.
No question the home crowd helped them out. The series is extended. It's a 5-3 win tonight for Fort Wayne. We'll be back.
Why settle